Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers in Brawl Stars right now, with the balance changes just happening pretty soon. A new hype charge with Kenji. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to update you guys on. So quickly before going into it, I won't bore you guys for too long, but as you can see, my setup behind me is completely gone because I'm moving house. Currently, I've already moved house, but I haven't got any internet in the new house yet. Luckily, I was living with my parents, so I can just stay here in terms of working. And I'll keep you guys updated with the meta and everything. So streams, I don't know how long it'll be, but in terms of internet, it'll probably be sometime next week, at the later end of next week. So expect these kind of sketched uploads for a little while at least, but at least I still got this bad boy with me, as you can see. Look at this, guys. Look, never forget, guys. Right. So we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers in the game, starting off at 15 with Gene. So Gene is still such a strong brawler in the meta, and he's even better in the knockout and bounty meta ever since the gadget rework, because he now actually counters snipers in my eyes. Like, for example, in Shooting Star, I really like picking Gene into those snipers because eventual Spirit's gadget can just deal so much damage, and then of course he's really meta in Gem Grab still. So just a solid brawler, and in terms of monthly finals not too long ago, he was one of the most picked brawlers. It was in the top 15 in there, so he's just such a solid pick. Next up is the 14th best brawler in the game. I went with Gray. So he received a nerf with his cooldown with Walking Cane. It was like a 3-4 second additional cooldown. I don't think that really is going to take him outside of the meta. If anything, he's got even better since last time I did a tier list, just because we've seen the pros going a lot of Gray in Gem Grab, for example, where if you rewind like 2 years ago, that's when Gray was at his peak, when you can go in Gem Grab, you can put a teleporter for your tank just to go in on a gem carry time and time again. That's why he's so good. And another reason why he's so good is because the hype charge takes it's just so quick to charge up, and you just have infinite Walking Cane still. It's still just really strong fundamentally. So Gray's easily one of the best brawlers in the game still. So for number 13, I went with Stu. So Stu received quite a heavy nerf to his hyper charge rate, but I don't think it's really going to shine away from the meta just yet, just because still fundamentally he's got a lot of HP for a one-on-one assassin. It's just so many good things about him, but yeah, he's still getting played quite a lot. And in terms of other brawlers as well that just missed out on the list, we've got the likes of Melody. Melody's still really good in the meta, specifically in Heist as well, which is still just a really good late pick and draft. We've got Meeple, that's still pretty good even with the damage nerf. I'm not too sure whether it's going to impact him that much in the meta, so just outside. And then Pam and Bonnie, I'm going to just kind of leave here for reservations because I've not really tested them out enough, but they seem pretty good in my opinion, especially Bonnie. But yeah, Stu's still a really good brawler in the meta. Next up is the 12th best brawler in the game. I went with Berry. So a lot of people are still ignorant to the fact that Berry's previous nerf was reverted about a couple of weeks ago now. It was like, well, technically it was a bug because it was supposed to be nerfed by about 20% his actual healing from his main attack, and it's been reverted all the way back to I think 660 healing per tick, which is insane. If you guys rewind back to when Berry was meta, he was nearly a top 5 brawler in the game because he was just so versatile and so good pretty much everywhere. So maybe I'm even underrated him here. So he's easily on the cusp of S tier still. He could just heal so much, his hyper charge cycle so quickly. He's still one of the best brawlers in the game. I'm moving into the 11th best brawler in the game right now. I've gone with Jae Young. So unfortunately, I haven't had the most practice with him inside of ranked, but I still feel his versatility is just going to bring him to one of the best brawlers in the game. So this meta, there's nothing like absolutely crazy broken just yet until the new hypercharges come out. So a brawler like Jae Young coming out is a breath of fresh air because he's so good at everything. You literally get a super for free within like 7-8 seconds. I forgot how long it is, but it's so quick. And you can just cycle through modes however you want. And you've also got a damage mode that deals damage around corners as well. His burst damage once he pops that gadget is just absolutely insane. His speed boost as well is just so clutch. And just, again, it just gets unlimited speed boost. How is he not one of the best brawlers in the game? He's such a good support brawler. But again, because he's a support brawler, I think most casuals will underrate him, not think he's the strongest. But in a good team, in ranked, he definitely is good. We're going to be moving into the 10 best brawlers in the game. Starting off at number 10 with Angelo. So Angelo, if you guys know me by now, it's got to be one of the most annoying brawlers in the game, mainly because it's just so hard to counter him with his very fast movement speed. He can just buzz around the map like crazy, and then of course he has 4k damage, which can pierce through walls. I know that gadget got nerfed a little bit, but it's just not enough because he's still so dominant in heists, especially in ranked. You get to just see how strong he is. Knockout and bounty, you can play him pretty much everywhere. Such a dominant brawler, and there's hardly any big counters out there to him. So next up is the 9th best brawler in the game right now. I went with Buster. So Buster Buster, since this hypercharge has really developed in the meta as a top 10 brawler easily. In terms of monthly finals a couple of weeks ago, he was like the 6th most picked and banned brawler, just going to show just his strengths. And the main reason being is because he can get his hypercharge for free. I know his hypercharge isn't anything crazy, but it still does stat boost on top of that. And again, it's just literally going to be cycling some like crazy in knockout. You get one at least per round, which again, when it comes to the final stage, you're just not going to kill a Buster paired with his broken gadget. So incredibly strong, and he's also just he's so good at countering some of the meta brawlers in the meta. So for me, he has to be one of the best brawlers in the game easily right now. Next up is the 8th best brawler in the game right now. I went with Aloo. This is mainly because there aren't really a lot of good anti-tanks in the game right now. Well, with the next batch of hypercharges, I think that will change. But for now, Aloo is always the one that you want to go to if you want to counter those tanks outside of Chester, because his hypercharge is still really strong. I don't think he received any any nerfs in the last set of balance changes, even though he was like the 8th most picked and banned brawler in monthly finals. He's still incredibly strong. Of course, one of the best brawlers in Hot Zone. And again, just any part in the draft, you can play Aloo everywhere. You can play Aloo as a defensive brawler in Heist. You can play him just in Brawl, no matter what map or mode or situation, because again, he's going to be the brawler that just hyper fixates and counters those tanky brawlers at the top of the meta. For example, like Buster, like Ollie, like Hank, all of these meta brawlers, Aloo is most of the time the best answer. Next up is 7th best brawler in the game. I went with Cole. So Cole is easily still one of the best brawlers in the game, even since he got a nerf to his heat ejector gadget damage, which was definitely needed. I still don't think it was enough. Still just being able to just spam these out like crazy. It's just way too strong. It's more so the fact, again, like these brawlers that could counter Cole in the past, like Buzz or brawlers that get close. If they get close, they're pretty much going to get one shot. If not one shot, they're going to be very weak. So most of the time, Cole is hardly ever at a net negative trade. So he's always going to get value no matter what. Of course, this super is really good as well into squishy brawlers. If you haven't got any type of cancellation in your kit, well, you're completely screwed. There's only a couple of brawlers top of the meta that do, to be honest, like Buster, for example, and that's why he's so good in the meta. But anyways, yeah, Cole just so versatile as well. And even so, if there's certain brawlers that counter you in the draft, where you can switch over to Flying Hook, which is still a really good gadget, and you can use to counter throwers and snipers with that gadget. So yeah, so versatile, easily top 10. So next up was the 6th best brawler in the game right now. I went with B. So again, she received another nerf in the last set of balance changes to her Rattled Hive gadget cooldown, but I still just don't think this was enough. It's still the fact that in this very tanky meta, which always seems to be with the hypercharge meta, B is one of the best solutions. And it's also, you just see B everywhere, whether it be Hot Zone, you've seen her as a mid and gem carry just to really counter those aggressive ideas. And Rattled Hive still is just such a strong gadget because you just have unlimited uses, and it can literally allow you to get control for free with a click of a green button. So again, until they probably nerf the damage of it, to be honest, I think that's the only way they're going to really solve this problem with B. She got a hypercharge on top of it. It takes a little while to charge up, but of course it can just help her just deal so much damage. Yeah, B is the perfect shutdown to so many different aggressive ideas, and easily still a top 10 brawler. So now we're going to be moving into the top 5 brawlers in the game right now. At number 5, we have Chester. So Chester received another nerf to his hypercharge rate. So I believe it takes like 4 supers to get now, which is pretty long, but it's still the fact that fundamentally his hypercharge is broken. It is so incredibly strong, and as a brawler that can easily feed super off tanks and just has good range, it's not like Fang in the past. You know, Fang's hypercharge is broken, but it takes so long for him to charge it up, whilst Chester's always going to get value, and he's always going to charge up that hypercharge, and then once you get it, it just equals a team wipe. It's just the pure damage that it puts out, whether it's the Dynamite super that just explodes and deals a crazy amount of damage. I don't even know how much it is, but it can nearly one-shot people. And then the poison on top of that. So even if you miss the Dynamite super element, you've got the poison cloud, which again just one-shots so many brawlers. So they need to nerf the actual hypercharge super rather than nerfing the hypercharge rate. I've always said this, they need to change it, or else Chester's still going to be good, even if it takes him 6 supers to charge up his hypercharge. So next up is the 4th best brawler in the game right now. I still went with Ollie, so another brawler that received a nerf, but it's kind of the common theme here with the balance changes. The nerfs pretty much did nothing to the meta because they're only small nerfs, and he only received a small HP nerf. So Ollie, as a tank, fundamentally, he's just so incredibly strong. Ever since they reworked him so it doesn't self-mute, just made him such a viable tank. A tank that can just dash, and then on top of that, he can jump over walls, or he can pull brawlers closer to him, whether they're tanks. So that's why I really like Ollie as well, because you've got the jump gadget that can be good against throwers or just get some pressure, and then you've got the other gadget, All Eyes on Me, which can pull people towards you. So for example, if a Mortis is dashing onto you, or you can just drag him towards you, and then with your teammate, take them down pretty quickly. But again, even in a tough matchup, you can just charge your super free through the tank trait, and then the big dash for your super and the regulate gadget, the jump gadget on top of that. It just allows you to win even the toughest of matchups. You can make so many game-changing plays with Ollie, and he's easily one of the best brawlers in the game now. Next up is the third best brawler in the game right now. I went with Hank, and I know you guys are going to say him straight away, well, I thought Hank fell off after the hyper charge. No, I was never the person to say that, guys. That was other people in the community. I said I'm going to place him in beat it, and I know people are underrating him. And just before monthly finals, I spoke to Smantic, and he said, well, pros were only figuring out like a couple of days before monthly finals that Hank was still completely broken. He just is broken. It's the fact that once you get your first super, it's really hard to kill a Hank. Even I struggle to know the true counter tank. There's only probably a couple, because again, any type of assassin, well, once you get your first super, you're just cycling infinitely, so you can defend yourself. You've also got the healing through the super, which is insane. You've also got the hype charge, which isn't broken, but you still charge it so fast, and you've got the shield gadget on top of that. It's just so good. Like, Hank is just free pressure, and if you get a support brawler behind him, good. But yeah, even pros were picking Hank on really open maps, and he didn't receive any nerf. He was the second most used and banned brawler in monthly final, guys. The second most used and banned. This isn't a troll. Hank is still meta, and he didn't receive any nerfs. All of his other brawlers around him received nerfs, so if anything, he's going to get better. Yeah, Hank is easily a top 3 brawler in the game. I'm moving into the second best brawler in the game right now. I went with Lumi. So Lumi was banned, I think, every single game in monthly finals except for one game. And I think she actually lost that, but still, just goes to show how broken Lumi is in the meta. And she received 2 very small nerfs, by the way. A small HP nerf and a small gadget duration nerf. I think to tackle how strong Lumi is, I said it in my balance change video, is that something needs to happen with either our main attack. So add a little bit of delay, because you can spam it out like crazy. I'm not talking a big delay, because that can kill the brawler. Just a small one. Or they need to nerf the star power with the slowing. It's just too much. There's so much to like about it. It's free control with every single attack. And I'm very glad to know that I was one of the only people that said Lumi would be one of the best brawlers in the game. I literally put a number 1 in my tier list as a prediction. So yes, I was right. Lumi is so broken in this meta. She's still one of the best brawlers in the game, but doesn't quite triumph the best one. Now moving into the best brawler in the game right now, I went with Kenji. So Kenji received the hypercharge a couple of days ago, and boy, is it the best hypercharge in the game right now. It's completely and utterly broken. So the only downside to it is sometimes it takes a little while to get, but you can just play super aggressively, and it doesn't matter. You're gonna be, it's basically a Tara super in the sky that's unavoidable, and even if you don't kill the person just with your pure super straight away, which you probably should anyway because of damage boost, etc., you've got to spawn on top of them and just completely just destroy them. The opponents stand no chance. There's hardly any way to counter this. It's so busted, guys. You've got to try it out if you haven't already before the new hypercharges come out. But yeah, I think Kenji is easily the best brawler in the game right now. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think of my picks. But I don't think the meta has really changed whatsoever. Bonnie and Pam have definitely got a lot better, but still, I don't think they're good enough. Maybe I was a little bit off with some of the predictions. Only a little bit. I still think they're good, like A, maybe even B tier. But most of the brawlers that were in the previous meta that were strong are still really good here, because the nerfs really didn't do anything, and there's no new hypercharges. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.